What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're going to have none other than Beelzemon deck profile, boys and girls. It's blast mode time, so let's blast our way of our competition and get onto it. So let's go over this deck profile, boys and girls. I'm excited for this deck. This deck is a really top contender and a very powerhouse in itself. I think people are going to sleep on it for now, but give it time, and I think people will figure out what deck it's going to be really solid in its form. Because there's multiple ways to play in this deck. First off, we are playing my favorite Digitama egg, Digimon. So when a card is trashed from your deck, draw a card. The thing about this is you could definitely play the Pagumon that trashes you 2 on deletion. It does see its merits, and milling might be faster for you, and that's your choice. I justify the draw, especially since we have a new card in the deck that just lets us put the card we want to be milled out on top, which helps out a lot. And then we do play one of BT-3, sorry, not BT-8, Digimon. This card is a tried and true classic card. This card lets you draw a card on deletion. And that is our Digitama. Very easy to get confused, by the way. Make sure you look at the image because they look the same. It's not even funny. So, let's dive into the rookies, shall we? We are playing 4 of EX2's Impmon. So this card, when trashed from your deck, if this wasn't trashed by this Impmon's effect, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. So you're going to mill out some cards here, which can help us out. And then on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Beelzemon in its name and 1 Ayamako among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. And this is where your power boost for Beelzemon comes from. This is where you're going to get most of your swinging potential and hitting over magic numbers. So, very important to have him. He's going to be milling us. He's going to be gaining us power, and he's a searcher on his own. Next, we are playing 4 of the beautiful Impmon. So this Impmon from BT-02 is on deletion. Trash 3 cards from the top of your deck. That really helps out because it speeds up the consistency of the deck. Especially early game, you can start snowballing and doing some crazy shenanigans pretty quickly with all these effects. So just make sure you pay attention on when effects activate and triggering, because it can lead to be crazy hectic lottery system. Next, we are playing 3 Impmon from BT-06. You may trash 1 card in your hand. If you do, return 1 Digimon card with 7 Great Demon Lord or 3 Musketeers in his type from your trash to your hand. So, since Beelzemon is all 7 Great Demon Lord, he will be able to be grabbed. We also play 1 other 7 Great Demon Lord, and that is our Daemon, or aka Creepymon, if you want to go with that. But that's why we're playing this, because it'll grab us Beelzemon back that might have been trashed a little bit too early, and it helps out, to be honest with you. And then we are playing 2 Psychmon. Psychmon is in here to counter that D-Reaper player, counter those Death X players, stuff like that, especially when they're going to try to punish you. A Psychmon can shut them down for a turn, and then you get to come back very easily. So that is our rookie lineup. I think it's pretty solid here, and I wouldn't change it at the moment. Personally, a lot of players might differ, and that is up to you. Now let's get into the champions, shall we? So we play 3 of Soulmon. Soulmon's still beneficial from BT-08 because when a card is trashed from your deck, gain a memory. This helps climb up a little bit easier, especially since we trash a lot. And that might make it so that they might have choked us at 2. At least we go to 3 for our Skull Satamon. And, you know, that's just all we need to be able to keep it our turn. And it's just beneficial that way. And then we do have none other than 3 foiled Wizardmon. So Wizardmon's in here, so when this card is trashed from your deck, gain a memory. This helps out extend our plays, and we get to do crazy shenanigans. And then when attacking, you may reveal 1 purple card from your hand, place it at the top of your deck. So let's say you have Blast Mode in your hand that's been sitting there the whole time. Or Lucemon Chaos Mode. Those cards can now be put on top, so when you mill them out, they're out of your hand, and then you can play it wherever you need to, especially when you're attacking. You can set it up. Especially with Blast Mode, you can set it up so that you can rest the Ayamako and now trash the blast mode and then go into it. That's going to really go a long ways, and it's going to really push you ahead in some games. So just keep that, thinking about that and applying it when you can. We are playing 2 Beelzemon Scatter Mode. This card is in here just because the draw 3, trash 2, it helps filter our hand a little bit. I can't wait for the promo Intmon because this card goes bye-bye once that does, but we kind of still need it for now. And then we are playing 2 Doberman. Doberman's really powerful because when you play this card from your hand, you may reduce the play cost by 2 if you have an Alice in play. We don't play Alice, so we don't care about that. On deletion, trash 3 cards from the top of your deck, then return 1 purple Digimon card or purple Tamer from your trash to your hand. So this is going to help us extend our plays, go a little bit faster, but also get that Ayamako out of trash that we might have milled and that we need. So it's just something to think about. And then we got 1 Lowymon for that hybrid game status. Sometimes that's all you need. And I promise you, this is pretty solid here. I think this is where you want to be. And let's dive into the ultimate, shall we? Very important plays and lines to see. We are playing 4 Skull Satamon. This card is really good because when Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, and then return 1 card with Demon Lord and his traits from your trash to your hand. And then when a card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. So that's what we want. We want to extend our plays and do some crazy shenanigans. Then we are playing 1 Lucemon Chaos Mode. This is for our Creepymon plays. Especially if we mill him out or get him into trash early enough, we could go into Creepymon if they have 2 bodies out. Instantly get a Lucemon, pop their body, pop a guy, and then what is your opponent really going to do? Nothing too much, especially if you pop weird, like mill weirdly stuff. You're going to go 1.5 miles here. So I think 1 Lucemon Chaos Mode really does help out, especially because if you play it for free with Creepymon and then go into Beelzemon, that's another pop too. So, I mean, it gets crazy on the board control what you can do. And then we are playing 2 Chimeramon. You might be wondering, why the heck are you playing Chimeramon? So, sometimes you're going to need to get that Intmon underneath your stack, and it's going to really help out. But also, sometimes your mills will trigger and get you some Intmons out, and then you can Digivolve up to their champion form, and then now your opponent's kind of just really in a weird spot because now you can Chimera, and now that's a free ultimate there. And now your opponent's in a weird spot, especially since it has abilities of control, and minusing DP really does help out lowering some to the spots you need it to be. So it's just useful all around cards. And that is our ultimate lineup. I don't think I would change anything on this. I mean, probably Chimeramon might come out one day, but for now, I think Chimeramon's a good mainstead Digimon. Next, we are playing EX2, Beelzemon. So when this card is trashed from your deck, play 1 Intmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Really solid there. But when it Digivolving or when attacking, may trash 2 cards from the top of your deck, then delete 1 of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon for every 10 cards in your trash at a maximum level. So, by the way, the Mill 2 is not required for you to activate the popping effect. So, if you guys go off, Digivolve, and you don't want to mill anymore, you can do that if you have the requirements in the graveyard to go pop past the 3. Maybe you can pop a 5 right now, and you don't need to go and mill more because you're close to decking out. Well, there you go. You're going to not need to mill. It won't trigger any of your other effects, but hey, sometimes that's all you need to do. Then that beautiful double Beelzemon. So this one is that secret rare Beelzemon, because while you have 10 or more cards in your trash, one of your Intmons can Digivolve into this card from your hand for a cost of 4. Ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements, delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So this can get rid of those pesky blockers or pesky, anything that you don't really like, you can get rid of. It's not a bad call to have this card, and I think it's pretty solid, and I think 2 is fine. Anything more is just, I feel like it could be a dead card in most instances. And then we do play 1 of the beautiful Creepymon. So this helps you with so many combos, especially if your opponent has 2 Digimon out. Then you can do trash 2 cards from the top of your decks for each of your opponent's Digimon in play. If you trash 4 or more cards with this effect, you may play a level 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Really helps out, especially for that Beelzemon play that I mentioned earlier. And then when attacking, for every 10 cards in your trash the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Then this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP. So this card is great in the security control matchup. A little bit now, there is a little bit of jankiness that can happen with that, but just useful to be able to mill if they have 2 bodies out. You can get that Beelzemon out and get snowballing that way. We are playing. That is our level 6 lineup, by the way. So not terrible. We are playing 2 blast modes. So the reason for that is we have another 7 that we're going to really need. So when this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Really useful. When Digivolving, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. And then for every 10 cards in this Digimon in your trash, this Digimon gets plus security +1. So he's going to be our OTK enabler and clearer. And then we do play 1 Death Xmon. So on play, when Digivolving, de-Digivolve your opponent's board, and then delete all level 4 or lower Digimon. Boom, gone. And then opponent's end phase, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So basically control incarnate, and he gets less and less the wider your opponent's board is. It really helps out. It punishes, and I think that's pretty solid all in all. We are playing 3 Ayamako. This is the only tamer we're playing, and the only tamer we're going to need. Ayamako is our memory setter in this deck, but when attacking with a Digimon, you may suspend this tamer to trash the top card of your deck. Then, if the attacking Digimon is a Beelzemon, you may Digivolve it into a blast mode from your trash without paying for a cost of 3. So, basically cheating in a blast mode a little bit earlier to get those extra security checks and board control. So, something to work with, right? And now we're going to go into the options. Nothing too crazy in the option department. We are playing 3 Death Stinger because it's still quite useful, especially when you mill out. You gain a memory. Being able to pop a 4 or lower or higher, especially depending on your trash, really does help out, especially in the security. So we kind of want to just hope we hit it in security at the right time, and then we can apply pressure that way. Then we are playing 2 Miss Memory Boost. This card basically trashes our 2 cards from our deck, draw us a card. Really helps out extend plays and get us the pieces we might need. And then gaining 2 memory for a later crazy pop turn is really good. And then we do play 1 Calling from Darkness just to get our pieces back just in case. We aren't looping without the Dracmon, but that's fine. At least being able to get a couple pieces back really does help out. So guys, what do you think of this deck profile? It really let me know how you like how the video editing is. And hopefully you enjoy the future videos. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!